should click the unmute button. That would probably help. Hello, Darub. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. And Asitsu, hello. How are you? So let's see. I started Docker. I rebooted yesterday. So now I need to fix all of these, redo all of this stuff. What is this? This is gonna be. Guess I have all that database stuff in the Axum, so we should go in there. So let's see. This is going to be our UX Twitter app. I guess I could put the Axum app inside of here too, because we're working on the front end here, aren't we? Okay, so anything else I need to do in here? Oh, we need to run this. So and let's see, once you're running, I can bring over you. And there we go. Okay, so we have our code. We have everything running for us. Okay, so we don't have the post. Are we? Did I break this? Oh, it started. Yeah, I started Docker. Okay, that's silly of me. I started Docker. I need to actually also start the actual server too. That would kind of be helpful. So let's see. Let's just cargo run. That would be very helpful to get all of these things. Okay, so we are currently working on. I want to get a single one of these responses. This Hello World one has 2, so I guess a single post. So I want to get this. I want to get the responses down below it. So let's go take a look at where that is. We have one post. Okay, so we have this post here. I probably want some kind of like title for like, you know, the responses. Every time I'm doing like this HTML stuff, I really wish I had Emmet. That would be so much nicer to deal with in here. But okay, so this will be our comments. I probably want you to have a level. That'll be a 2, and I probably want this to be centered. Is this center equals true? Yes, that's exactly it. Okay, so that gives us the comments. I guess we don't have anything else in here, so this could be a H1 because it is the one thing, but that doesn't really make any sense either. So, okay, so now I need all the comments. Now, I think I got everything, right? So, oh, you know what we need to do? We need to actually get the comments. So that's going to be in our API. We have API one post. So get one post should get all the comments. Yeah, that should get one post with everything inside of it. So that should be fine. Because that has the reply as a post. Okay. I need to call get one post from one post, which means we need to do this when we load. All right. So even if we have nothing here, I don't want to return early, do I? We're probably going to, I probably just want to like wait, but let's do, I think this is going to be a use effect. Inside the use effect, we're going to need to get wasm bind gen futures. And then we can get all the post for this one. So we can just get post equals I get one post. Okay, so we need this ID. Which means I need to get out of here. Now you will copy inside, so I don't think I need move. I think it just works. I wonder if it will just auto copy all the way in, and I can just use the ID in here. We'll await. We will. I probably want to handle the error. Okay, so we get the one post. If there's an error, we're just gonna have to return. Now, I want to return this, right? Okay, so effect response, because it has to be the exact same type, and if I create a new one, that's a different type. So we will return that. That being said, I don't know, actually, no, wait, that's not true. This is returning out of this block, right? So I don't need this. We're fine. This can still be good old-fashioned return there. You have a semicolon there. Yeah, okay, so I'm just returning out of that block, which is really just returning out of a promise. Okay. What are you upset about? Expected semicolon. Right. The post needs a semicolon there. Okay. Yeah, okay, so the ID doesn't live long enough. Okay, so I do have to move you in here. Oh, is it just referencing in here? Okay, so if I move you, I've been getting this wrong every single time. Is it async move? Was I doing move async? Or was I doing async? Okay, there it is. Move at the end. Startup Builder, hello. How are you doing today? Can you make money trading Forex? I have no idea. Maybe. But I'm not really a trading person, so that's pretty far away from my knowledge base. Okay, so I want to get this one post, and I want to stuff it into the store. Which means we need the ability to add this to the store. So here's like the response. Sets to a pub function, like add post. I guess this is just gonna be add a post after the fact, right? So we're gonna take a mute self. We're obviously gonna take a post, which is gonna be one of these big posts, which is a post here. What type of post do I have over here? I know we're calling it a post, right? Oh no, this is API1 post. Yeah. Okay, this will be fine. We'll take an API1 post. And I don't think we actually need to return anything. I think in this case, we just want to add it to our list of response of posts. Yeah, of posts. Now, currently we're storing the posts in a vector, which might, I mean, we might want to change that to be like a B tree. But until then, because I don't think right now we do care about order, but we're just sort of like relying upon whatever we can change the order in whatever way we want. And a vector lets us sort of keep that. Okay, so I want to store that stuff that's in there. I need to make sure that we don't already have it. So we need to first find the post for, don't we? We need to find if it exists in there. So maybe index. What does find give us? So let our like saved post self.post. Yeah, self.post. Oh, wait. I'm impulling this on the wrong thing. I want to import in Yew. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, so self posts, if I iter, what I find, we have our state post. I want our okay, so we'll move that ID in here, and then we can use that to compare. So we can do if the, actually, I don't even need a block like this, do I? We could just do it straight here, which is state post.id is equal to post ID. That gives me an option of the post. Okay, so we're gonna need this to be, can I make this mutable? So iter mute. Okay, so that's gonna be a mutable reference to a post. So if we do already have it, we should be able to replace it. Okay, what are you? Oh, expected I32 found a U32. Right, you need to be, I mean, we could just change you to be U32 here. This will have lots of repercussions. Now what? Oh. You would be get post by ID. Okay, so you become a U32. Expected from value. Okay, yeah, so API post now needs to change. You need to be a U32. Result.id. Oh, yeah, okay, so and here's the problem is that this is coming... let's see, okay, where is this coming from? So result... JSON await send. Okay, so then you have probably a... Yeah, I32. Okay, so link to... Oh, props post IDs. Now we need to go to here, and then you're going to be a U32. Let's see. This post ID. Oh, one post now needs to take a U32 in here. Bomero, hello, good morning. How are you doing today? Okay, so get one post is going to be it's I32. Ooh, okay. So we're good to go. First cup of coffee, I'll tell you in 30 minutes. I kind of feel the same way this morning. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so I'm not in a store. I want to be in the store. Okay, so we're going to add post. And okay, so we get this one. Okay, we get one of the API 1 posts. I actually kind of want, what if I do this? What if I tell you, hey, you're going to be one of these posts, but now we're going to have to implement. Okay, so that's going to be fine. We'll have to implement a from for this post, which is going to be fine. So we'll do impl from API 1 post for post. I wonder if I want to do something like this. API 1 post. We'll take out all those things, and then we will have the ID, the text, the likes. Okay, and then replies. So we do the replies count. So that's gonna be replies. Response count is gonna be replies dot length. And then replies and responses is gonna be our replies. We're going to into iter map into collect. Okay. What are you upset about? Expect an I string, found a string. Okay, so you need to be an into expected I32 found U32, right, so we need to update U. And I'm 2 hours ahead of you. Wait, no, behind you. Okay. Wait, so it's later in the day for you or earlier? That kind of math is your Easter time. Okay, so it's later in the day for you. Yeah, that is 2 hours, isn't it? Okay, expected. So if I save you, expected U32 found I30. Okay, what if I just do, let's search for I32. Okay, got it. Oh, text is gonna be text.into. That's fine. Response count is replies expected. Oh yeah. Can I do an into from a U size to a U32? I don't think I can. As U32. Okay, so that makes you happy. So back to add post. Okay, so we get this post, we add the post ID. We find this, okay, so we attempt to find the post. If we don't have the post, we're going to just take this post and add it in there, right? We could just append it and it'll be fine. However, if we do have the post, we want to replace it. So let's see. If probably just we can just do this, like some save post equals, we can just do this here. Otherwise, okay, so if this doesn't exist, let's just stuff it in there. So we'll do self.post, push in a post. Nope. Yes. Okay. But then we're done with this, right? So we want to return at this point in time. If we get to here, I don't know that I don't like, so I'm all for early returns. I don't think I like this early return. It doesn't feel right. So I kind of almost want to do like an if let sum. This becomes the if we found it, then I want to replace the saved post with the post. Otherwise, I want to self.post push the new post. Well, let me do this. Cannot find value save post. Oh, yeah. Wait, isn't it this one? Save post. Oh, I have an else here still. Okay. So just replace it in memory, that position of memory, and there we go. Okay, so that allows me, okay, so now I get the post. Okay, so let's go back to one page. Here we have the brand new post. It is this API 1 post. We have the from. Okay, so we've awaited this. We have this in here. I don't actually need to, I could just match and do everything in here, can I? Go back here. Oh, that didn't work. That's what I want to do. Okay, so if we have the post here, let's also make this a sum and just get rid of it. Oh, come on. There. Expected a Boolean. I'm not returning anything. Okay, so if you, which means, okay, in this case, I don't need to return anything here either. And this match, oh, I removed the wrong semicolon. Oh, and the okay none, we also need to do that there. So if we didn't get a post back, actually none couldn't happen, right? None can ever happen for this. So like I almost want to just do a catch-all. But let's do okay none. This is this should be unreachable. Okay, so we have this post. I want to add it in there. So I need this dispatch now. Which means, okay, that. Okay, so we get you, we can move you in here. Then we move you in here, and then we can use you here. So we'll do dispatch. We'll reduce mute. Okay, we have our function, so we'll have a move. This will give us a state. And then I just want to do our state dot add post, and that will be the post dot into. And that's it. So that stuffs you in when we go and try to get it. Now, the worry is the use effect is going to run many times and therefore cause an infinite loop, potentially. So I'm curious, are we going to start seeing, if I go straight here, the answer to this is yes. Look how many queries we did instantaneously. Yeah, can you stop, please? Here, go back there. Yeah, so we made a few thousand requests. Luckily, it's to our own server, so that's not a problem. But okay, so this is the fun part about working with a React style interface here. Use effect. Use effect basically will run on every single lifecycle method, and this thing that we return is what tells us whether or not we should re-render. And I always feel like I need to play around with it every time. I guess I just don't use effect that often. That's why I need to play around with it. If I internalized it, it will be a lot better. But okay, so if I remember correctly, whatever I return, so if I return something inside of here, then only when that thing changes will it refresh. So I kind of want, it could be like the ID here for this, or it could be something else. So I'm not necessarily sure what, oh, is that how it works? Let's look at the documentation. It should tell us. And if this documentation doesn't tell us, the React documentation is actually a good replacement for the Yew documentation for things like this. Silpy, are you going to join us for a while? Hi. I know, I'm sorry, it's cold in here, but I got the heater on. Okay, probably not. Let's go find out. Where is use effect? Oh no, that was an update. I want use effect. Honor reasoning. Yeah, these are all updates. Server-side rendering, that's not helpful. Hooks, okay. Use effect. The documentation for these hooks can be found in the API documentation. Nice. Okay, let's go look in there. Use effect. Oh, right, it's use effect with. That's what I need. Okay. I was gonna say, like, what are we doing with that? It's use effect with. That's what it is. Okay, so this is gonna be every single time. To me, this is a little bit less helpful. Use effect with. Okay. So it accepts dependencies and accepts whatever dependency I want. So whenever the dependencies are changed, the effect callback is called again. To detect changes, dependencies must implement partially equal. So what we can do is we could say that, where's our code? Let's use effect with, how do you accept the dependency? Use effect with, oh, and then the thing that I want. So we're going to use the ID. So whenever this ID changes, we want to load it again. Otherwise, just be the same. And that ID should never change. So this should only just load once at the very beginning of the component and then never again. So use effect with, you're going to be very upset very shortly. Okay, so use effect with, and I want props.id, which we could just do as ID here. And then we're going to take in the ID there. I need to pull you in because I can't find that. You need mismatch types found. Oh, this gives me a reference. So we'll just do that. Borrowed ID. Okay, fine. Let's see, I want. Can I do the thing where I like just say, give me that? Yeah, okay, that works. Okay, so perfect. We now have a use effect with. So if we come back to here, we have our network tab open. Let's go find one of these with responses. Bam. We get it once and nothing more. And we're good to go. All right, that's good. So we're now using use effect to get the one thing, and that's it. Okay, excellent. No more infinite loops of recursive. I guess it's not really recursive. No more infinite loop for getting all the posts over and over and over again. Okay, so now, given that we've loaded this up, I want to now load all the posts down here. So we should have access to those. So let's try this. We're gonna use a props. Actually, no. We have post.clone. Okay, so we get the post here that way. So we can do for... How do I want to do this? I could try to print out exactly what it is, but those do implement debug, don't they? I wonder if I can do this. We're going to just do a post dot responses. Let's format. Okay, so if I just dump all those out here. Ooh, so this one sees 2 responses, but we're unfortunately getting nothing back out here. So that's not great. Now, this is going to refresh after we get this. So here's the next sort of like issue. We do use effect with, we update, we grab you. I wonder if, well, I guess first of all, did we get the responses with this? So we did a get. This got everything. This got everything. Yeah, this got, oh no, this one. This is the get for the one thing. There we go. Yeah, so we got the 2 responses. We got the 2 replies. So that tells me that we need to refresh one more time. So after we get this, we need to update our state to then have access to the post. Okay, so what can we do with that? Like, do I want something like a loaded and then store this in state? It's like let loaded equals use state. We say that this is false to be loaded initially. So instead of ID, we pass in a dereferenced loaded. Dereferenced? Yeah, dereferenced loaded. You can't find it. You. Let's see, you don't have an ID here anymore, but it's okay. We still have this ID that we're moving in. You are you are loaded. We can do that. We're gonna need the let loaded state. Is that correct? Maybe I don't need that. Maybe it'll move straight in here. Oh, but I'll need to move it here. So loaded state equals we should make this loaded state too. Okay, so I got you. We're gonna move you in here. We're gonna set you. So once we have this and we added the post, then I want to do our loaded state. We're gonna set you to be true. And that should change you. What are you upset about? Oh, this is gonna be loaded state now. I don't know if we actually care about this, do we? Like, we might be able to just say that. Because if we're not loaded, it runs the first time. After we're loaded, we're done. We don't need this anymore. So ooh, look, it flashes and shows us this for a second, and then it goes back to not having it. Why is that? Like we have this here for just a second and then it reloads and then we don't have it anymore. And then the store get post by ID returns the post, but the responses aren't there anymore. That's interesting. Because it got replaced. I think, okay, so you know how I removed and I changed the home and I ripped out the use effect from here and I put it into the app. This is a problem. I think we need to once again rip this out and put this into our home. What are you upset about? Okay, so move. Oh, use the move value dispatch. Okay, yeah, so I need to make sure I don't move dispatch in here. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so here's what was going on. We had a race condition. When the entire app loads, it sends out a request to get all the top level posts. The top level posts don't have any of the replies for any of the posts in them. At the same time, we've navigated directly to this post here, like a very specific post. And so as soon as we get here, it starts trying to get all this post plus its replies. Whichever one responded with first, stuffed the stuff into the database. Well, this one finished first, so it put it into the database and it re-rendered. Okay, great. Then the next one finished like milliseconds later, maybe less than a millisecond even, and then it replaced all of the posts in the store. Which of course those ones don't have comments on them, so the comment disappeared. So that was fun. So that's a thing. All right, so what do I want to do? I want to actually, we're good here. We want to turn this into now the post. So we're on home. I want to go to one post. We're going to replace this format. This is now going to be a we can map this. Okay, so we're going to go to post dot responses getter map. So we get our post. This is, I guess this is more of a, let's do this as a response. For the response, I want to return HTML with a post. Post is equal to the response. I don't think there's anything else that I need there. I probably do need to clone it. I'll let it yell at me. Oh, and then I need to collect this into a vec of HTML. Yeah, you need to be cloned, don't you? And there we go. Now we have responses here. Perfect. Okay. Now I have the ability to still click on you. That doesn't seem to be right. So what I want to do is make it so I can't click into the same one. So let's update post. So component one post. Yeah, was that component? Not page. Yeah. So we have the post that coming in, and then I also want a pub. I guess I could navigate. Like I want to be able to click to the thing. And then that would turn off the link, wouldn't it? We would disable that. So really it's two things for this one. I probably could at this point in time decide to break this out into two different components for that. That might be a better way of doing it. But let's see. So I want to disable navigation. This will be a Boolean. I want this to be false by default, which that will do. I don't think I can like just turn off, like disabled this directly. So this might end up being two different returns from here. And that would probably be the reason for why we'd want to return two different, like create a different component for this. So if I do props dot disable navigation, so if you're true, we want something else. We just want this component here. I might actually be able to save that into a variable, can't I? Like, what if I do let our like the post HTML what are you upset about? Style moved. Oh yeah, so I don't want the link. The style's been moved into here. That's fine. I can clone you, right? So you're happy with that. Okay, so we have post HTML. So okay, if the props disabled navigation, I want to we're going to return the post HTML. Otherwise, we're going to return this entire thing. But we now have, hold on, let me format this right. We now have the post HTML in here, so we can return this as post HTML. Nope, like there, like post HTML, but you're gonna have to be cloned too. Actually, no, I don't have to clone it because it's one or the other. And so Rust should be smart enough to know, hey, it's either gonna be moved here or moved here, not both. Okay, so that should do it. So now you're still clickable like that. We're gonna go to pages one post. And for this post, we're gonna say, well, what did I call it again? Disable navigation. Disable the navigation. So now when this refreshes, well, I can't click on it anymore, but the styles are still applying. So, okay, what's the difference between that? Where is, oh, this background color gray is because of this hover effect that comes, Okay, so I have like the sky blue, I have the 2 padding, so I kind of want that. I want this style to only apply in this bottom one, so I kind of want to just create, okay, this is a link style. You know, I haven't tried this before. What would happen if I just add you in here? Would you be really upset? I mean, you're going to compile. Okay, you just don't work. That makes sense. Okay, so I want this hover background. Now link style is being applied just to link style here. I don't think I can do something like, there's no self or whatever that I can do for this. So I want to, do I need to apply that to like, oh, is it going to be like div? Oh, okay, interesting. So we lose that. Oh, because we need to apply it to here. That's where we need to apply it to. I keep on forgetting that. What did we have before? It was up here, and that was applied to this div, which then the link went into. Which then I think the link went into. So I need a div we're going to apply, okay, so I want the same style here. So we have the style clone. So class equals, we're going to use the class macro. So classes macro. We'll have the style that we created there, and then also we just want to have this style as like another one. So this would be a the hover. So let navigation like hover. So let's see. I want this is gonna be an A hover, I think. And then I want you to only go on here. That didn't work the way I expected that to. Do I not want the style on that one? What was our original thing? I need to either go back and look at it, or let's go to GitHub and take a look at what I had, because I now forget. I have this linked here. We're on the main branch. Let's look at what we had here. It was the one post. Okay, so we just had the link. You had link style. Okay, so we didn't have a div. So no div. Right, okay, so we had no div here. this needs to be the classes macro. And then this is going to be the navigation hover. Maybe. Did I want, oh, I probably didn't want link style. What did I have for a CSS? Oh, we had link style and then div and then the style. Okay. Okay, you have the style. Post HTML. Okay, so basically I just want link style. Oh. Not that. Okay, so we're getting closer. I don't think we have a hover on here. Let's see what it thinks it's supposed to be. Or rather specifically, let's see, you have that. Oh, I probably want, oh, I did want that to be a D, like a div in there, didn't I? Okay, so hold on. So you are a navigation hover. You're not an A hover. You are a div hover. There. Now you don't hover when I don't want you to, and you do. Okay, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Okay, so now you're happy. Let's see. So, oh, and then I should be able to now click on this, another hello world. We don't go there. Okay, so that didn't work the way we expected it to. Also this hello, yeah, so I wanted to be able to click on hello world and I see this post. I think that our responses, it's not a, this isn't a top level anymore. This is now a, like a child of a child, and so it can't find it. Even though this will successfully get it from the network. Like we'll get 17, right? Yeah. We'll be able to get that. Yes, that works when I refresh on this page. But if I go, oh, if I navigate back here, it doesn't work. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so you're happy if I navigate there. You're unhappy if I navigate to you. And that's because the what is it because? It's because the posts are getting from the store. It can't find it because it's not a top level one. It's like a nested down. I think what we need to do is we need to store, I need to store all the posts in a single, in a hash map or a B tree map, something like that. I can still iterate through those, like that'll be fine because I can still get iterators off them. The B tree map will be like a hash map, but it preserves order. The hash map wouldn't preserve order, so like it's if we care about that or not. And then we need to, then we just need to like get top level, which would basically be filtering and saying like, hey, if you're a top level post, you Yeah, that's the only thing. It's like we need to know whether or not you're top level. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so let's I'm gonna get commit this right now because uh we're kind of working, but not really fully there yet, but I don't want to lose anything. So okay, so we are uh able to view one post and its responses. Have a bug where we can't view responses of responses. Okay, so how are we gonna fix that? How we fix that? We're gonna go back to the store, and we're gonna have to change this. So instead of a vec post, we need to change this to be a we're gonna use the ID of the post as the key, and then the post itself. So this is gonna be posts is gonna be a B treat. Full Stack Live, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing today? How was your stream? What are you working on? Yeah, we're gonna do a B tree map. Oh, you did your weekly office hour stream and an open AMA stream. Nice. How did it go? And I guess like what stack are you working on for your I assume it's a full stack based upon your username. Also, I am not following you. Let me change that. Okay, so in the meantime, we are working on, I guess it's also a full stack, although we're focusing on the front end right now. We're building a sort of like a toy X Twitter clone using Yew, which is a full front end framework, very similar to React, but it's all in Rust. So WebAssembly, all that fun stuff, Rust code, you know, everything you know and love about Rust, also front end and web development, and setting it up. We have a backend that we're hitting that is written in Axum, and we built that before this one. Okay, so you're using Ruby and Rails and Linux. I was wondering like if it was maybe I guess like with after our stream is like a course you were helping out with, or running, I guess. Your main business managed hosting companies, so web operations in general is what you did with all of them. That's fun. That's awesome. Okay, so we need to switch this over. So now we're going to have a bunch of errors as it's going to yell at me because I am no longer storing this in a okay, so we need to think about this again. So we have a post. Do I want to switch this to a graph? I mean, a graph would work, but I also don't want to. Office hours basically stream which you're trying to answer all the questions viewers have for you. It's fun to be on a hot seat on a weekly basis. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, answering this kind of questions is good. I tend, I haven't, don't feel like I have enough people that come by for like just pure questions on their own. But one day I think I'll be doing office hours, especially like once I get more courses going. Okay, so how do I want to, I think I need to think about how I want to change this to be stored. So like a B tree map is great. So it's a tree. Well, okay, let's ignore that. Let's imagine it as a hash map, right? So we have, if you think about like JavaScript or any other like object-based things, we have a key and a value storage, like a dict in Python, something like that. I want to have the ID of the post as the key and then the post. But okay, you're building an extensive Linux administration course at the moment and it uses Office. Nice. Okay, that sounds perfect. Awesome. Also, congrats on building a Linux admin course. I wish you the most luck and the most success with it. The best success, something like that. I don't know. It's early. Words are hard in the morning. Okay, so if I store these, how do I know what's a top level then? I can iterate through every single one. I can iterate through every single one and grab the responses. That doesn't seem great. You know, I almost wonder if I want like a response goes into one. So I could have like top level posts, which is the vector of posts. And then I can have a responses go into this map. It's a lot. Oh, it's pretty not great. Okay. So when I do this get post by ID, I'm just iterating through and finding the top level posts. The problem here is what about the children of the post? Those exist too. And that's obviously an issue. And I don't want to just throw this in here and say like, hey, I have like a child. That will become a top level in my app state once I post that in there. So we need to, it would basically be, I need to be aware of how that works. And I don't like, I'm not really interested in making this like a real app and like, you know, adding in a lot of complexity just to handle that kind of thing. So it's the data. So this is what happens when you make a mistake with the data modeling, or you just jump into a project without actually thinking about the data modeling that strongly. So if I go straight to the responses and I don't find it, that isn't great. And I can't get, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to think about this a little bit more and like how I would want to solve this. Like how I would do this in a real life one. I probably need to sit down with a whiteboard and actually like go through and like think of the storage for that. Gizan, hello. How are you doing today? You recently started coding. You were just curious what systems you're working on. Is it MacBook and the software? Is it NeoVim? So yes, I do have a MacBook Pro that I'm working on this. I mean, when you just start coding, like literally anything works as long as you have an operating system. I would argue that the big three are what you want to stay with. Microsoft, Linux, like popular Linux, like I, you know, you might full stack live, you might have a different opinion on this, but like I would probably start if you're beginning with Linux, especially like stick with Ubuntu, stick with something like that, Red Hat, like Fedora or something like that. And then either Mac or Windows is also like perfectly fine. You can be productive in all of them, like whatever you're familiar with, right? Because you don't want to spend, if you're learning programming, you don't want to spend also a bunch of time learning the operating system too. You want to just focus as much as possible on the programming itself. This is not NeoVim, this is Helix. Helix is basically, think of it like NeoVim, but it's rewritten. It's a brand new editor. It's written in Rust. It has a lot of default sort of already set up for it. A lot of sort of like what normally would have been like those plugins already configured. So I get a lot of things just for free, which is actually one of the benefits in my mind, is that I don't have to like configure it, because there's not that much I can configure. Obviously that's going to change as they add more features. They're going to add in like a plugin system eventually. They don't have one right now. 100% used to use Macs for more than a decade, then you switch to Windows to get a better hardware support. Finally found myself dual-booting to Linux 95% of the time. Now I'm running Fedora Silverblue as my workstation OS. Yeah, you'll probably find that over the years, you just migrate to different operating systems, and whatever the need is for right then, that's what you use, and that's okay. There's the propensity for developers to yell at each other about like, oh, you have to use this operating system to be like, you know, a real developer or something else. Like, who cares? Value added or value delivered to your client is the only thing that matters. Who cares? Pwn Writer, hello. How are you doing today? All right, so let's see. Okay, I need to figure out the post type thing. We have a little bit of time. I do have some whiteboards, kind of whiteboard software. I've been getting less happy with freeform as I try to use it more. You want to ask something? Absolutely, ask away. This is a perfect time because I ran into a data modeling problem that's not easy to solve, like in my current brain state. So perfect time to ask questions and I'll answer. Strangely, we don't judge each other for the cars we drive to work with, but our laptops seem to be hot topics. I know. It's kind of funny how that works sometimes. It's the laptops and also what like the frameworks and everything else we put on. It's like, okay, how many clients do you have? It's that might be an important thing to chat about. Okay, so you're seeing that I'm using macOS. I've been thinking of switching to M1. Is M1 with 8 gigs RAM good for Rust development? I usually do CLI apps development stuff. So I guess like when you're thinking about any kind of notebook, and these days, it's not even just Macs, it's going to be anything. Consider how long you're planning on keeping the notebook for this. Because 8 gigs of RAM, sure, that's probably okay for right now. Like, but a lot of things like tend to use a lot of memory, and then over time we tend to want more things. Like if you ever want to like run an AI language model on your computer, 8 gigs is not going to be enough. Yeah, I'm right with you, Full Stack Live. So these days, every single, except like framework, the framework laptop, I think, is the only one that doesn't anymore. Or if you build your own. All of them are soldering the memory onto the main board, the motherboard. And that basically means that you'll never be able to update it ever again. This is the M1 Max. Hold on. Yeah, this is the Apple M1 Max. So it's the 16-inch 2021 model. And then I have 64 gigabytes of memory. So I recommend, if possible, you max out as much as you can for future, because you're planning on keeping this device for a long time, right? Then that gives you more time to have this before you can't use it anymore. Now, I am doing things like I do sometimes, like if I'm traveling with this computer, I will also stream with it, and like streaming with it. But like with 64 gigabytes of memory, I can run a 70B Llama 2 LLM, which is pretty insane. Like, it's slow. It's not like the most amazing, but I can run it. Like, it works. So it's my options are open there for me to like sort of do all sorts of cool stuff with it. Are you using any window manager or just the base desktop of macOS? Yeah, so I just use the base desktop of macOS. I spend most of my time in the terminal anyways. And so in here, I do use a window manager called Zellage. And so that's what gives me all of this. And then the multiple windows down here. So in summary, it's basically 8 gigs is technically going to be okay, but you're probably going to be running out of, it's probably going to be getting slower much faster than you probably want it to be. And also you don't have any future proofing. So like if there's a big update or something you want to do something, it takes a lot of more memory. You're going to run into speed issues pretty quickly. And so you probably want to future proof it. Like get as much as you can afford. Yeah, so there is a propensity. It's like not even think about Rust dev. Think about just using like Chrome based web browsers. So like even if you're using Firefox, which is pretty good when it comes to memory, but like none of them are really great. Every time you open up a new tab, it uses a little bit more memory to like store what's going on. And Chrome is the worst right now. That just opens up tons. If you're using a terminal-based editor, that's great. That's like, not too much more memory. Rust Analyzer, however, does gobble up a bunch of memory. I think it will take sort of whatever excess that you feel like or that you have. Chrome, however, will take up everything, like absolutely everything. And then if you use VS Code, that's Chrome. If you use Slack, that's Chrome. If you use Discord, that's Chrome. Like there's a ton of Chrome things that you're going to run on your computer that you may not realize are Chrome behind the scenes. And they will eat up all the memory if they can and slow things down. And so when I get more memory than I need, I just don't have to worry about that because I just have more memory than I need. Okay, so we have a post. Now the other thing is that we have sort of top level, and we have a reply. Now, a top level can have multiple replies like this, and also a reply can have multiple replies like this. On my first screen, I want to only get the top levels, so I need to know what the top level is. When I do a get all, I only get top levels. That's fine. When I get one, I can get any one and any number of the replies. So I need a way to store in, so I know what the top levels are, but I can also go straight to one of these if I need it. Without a recursive search through this, because that's gonna suck and be slow. If you have a Dell right now, it's a Hyperland window manager, and when you use it with Rust Analyzer, it goes up to 2 gigs. If you're curious, what does the macOS do when it goes out of memory? Any swap? Yeah, so Mac is different and interesting. Mac uses virtual RAM. Is that what they call it? I can't remember if that's exactly what it's called anymore. But basically, think of it sort of like swap. It starts using the database. Sorry, the disk drive. I guess they're not disk drives anymore. It uses the main SSD as basically a swap, and so it starts throwing that in there, and they have some pretty cool algorithms that can be pretty optimized, and you may not even recognize it as doing that. It just starts doing it behind the scenes for you. And but if you don't have enough memory, it starts putting things in there that you want more, like you want more often, and therefore you'll notice the speed decrease when it switches and it needs to load all that back out from the SSD into memory again. And obviously if you just run out, you need everything in memory all at once, then there's just nothing you can do, and it's just gonna it's going to either crash or get like the software will stop working. So basically virtual memory acts very similar to swap. Apple, it's they can go bigger than the normal swap. It's like normally you can go like, okay, the swap is going to be this size. I think Apple like dynamically sizes that depending upon what you're doing and what you need. So they can basically you don't define a swap for it. Basically, it just does it itself, which is really cool. Like I've always wondered why like that should become the norm, right? Like I think Windows does that too. Like I think Linux and Unix are the only ones that now that we have to manually set what a swap is. Is that true anymore? Has that changed? I haven't been in the Linux world in a while. It's been like a couple years, so maybe it's updated. I mean, each distro is obviously going to be different. That's true. The only distro, so when I was a sysadmin, I was working on Red Hat and Mac. Like, so I was more on the Mac team, working on stuff, but then I touched, like, you know, I worked with the Red Hat Enterprise Linux distro quite a bit, and then we only had 2 Windows computers, so I'm the least knowledgeable about how this stuff works on Windows. But then nowadays, like I don't pay for Red Hat Enterprise, and then I just, whenever I use Linux on my own systems or on my servers, I either use like the AWS Linux or I use or I just end up using Ubuntu, because like I don't know, it's simple, easy, and also like if I'm doing like a tutorial or something else like that, there's so much documentation for Ubuntu out there. I can just point people at that. I don't have to say like, hey, look, okay, here's like the documentation for Arch, or here's the documentation for Debian, or something else like that. It's like here's Ubuntu. They have like a billion docs, and it's all really good. That's not what I want. Can I draw with this? No. What is the object thing? It's, oh no, curly thing. I want this is not gonna work. I want like an actual just pen. But I don't think that there is a just pen. Double click points to toggle between straight and curved lines. Drag a midpoint to divide a line, add new point. Yeah, none of that is helpful. I guess what we can do is something like this. We'll just pretend that this is a point. Okay, so if I have like an array, I wonder if I can do a series of pointers of like where. Ooh, okay, so I can do an object that has a key, right? So what if I do something that has like an ID here, and then a pointer, it's not text, a pointer to one of these. So I could point at a top level, for example, but I could also point it there. Now this is flat where I'm storing this. This doesn't take up that much more space. It's just an ID, which is just a small number, and then a pointer, which is also really small, which is going to point towards where it really is in memory, which is sort of sitting inside of here. And then this one has all the replies in it as well. Now, I only populate this the first time that I need it. So if I go straight to here and like, okay, I don't see you. I have to look through all the top level to find all the replies. And then I have to look at all the replies to find that. You wanted someone to review your code and give you some feedback. I don't necessarily have time to do like code reviews for everybody. But if you join the Discord, you can feel free to like post stuff in there. It depends upon how much it is, and how big and everything else. But then that can be like community driven, so it's not just me that's looking at it. Or I just decide, okay, we're not going to do replies or replies. We could just make that a business decision and just like, yeah, these don't exist. We just have top level and replies. Cause like the data modeling is like where we ran into problems. I didn't follow my usual rule of thumb is to write the front end first and then do the back end. We did the back end first. And that's like, this is the reason why is like, oh no, like the way we modeled it that works really well for the back end doesn't work really well for the front end. And it's much harder to redo it for the front end than it is to redo it for the back end. So that's fun. So I don't know, maybe I'll just because like the entire point of this project is to show off like the front end type stuff with you, not really to like create like an actual like fully working app. So I might just say, you know what, we're not going to do replies. I might just do that and just like have no click on all of them. Let's just do that. So if I were to go to one post, so this is the page for one post. Okay, so here we're trying to respond. Okay, so post responses. Okay, so BB post. I want to disable navigation on this one too. Okay. So back to looking at this. Now. Okay, so here, let's go. You have a post. Okay, so now I can't click into them, but I can see all the comments to this. So technically that works. That's not what I wanted. I want to close you. Okay. All right, so I want to see replies to a single post. We have that. I want to reply to a post. It's 8:30, so I don't think I'll be able to work on this today because usually my end time is 8:30. So we're gonna have to save this until Monday. Okay, so as a user, I want to reply to a post, I want to update the text of a post, and I want to delete a post. So those last things, and then we'll be done. Cool. So let's go ahead and update you. Okay, so we have readme. So what did we do? We have I guess we're displaying one post and its replies. Go with that. Push you up. That's not okay. No. I tried to save. I tried to do colon save. I missed the colon. That wouldn't have mattered anyways because I'm not even in an editor. Apparently I'm tired today. All right, so that's fun. Here's the code. Let's actually go to the root of this. Here's the code for all this in case you're interested. And I will, let's see. Is there anything else? I don't think so. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you again, Full Stack, for the raid. And if you came in for the raid, thank you for hanging out with. Thank you for continuing to hang out. I do a lot of this Rust dev in the mornings. I've been doing sort of like these more like exploration, sort of like just like working on this type of stuff. Words are hard today. In the afternoons, I've been streaming again. So basically I sandwich my day where I do like a stream, I do my day job, and then I do my stream after that again. I don't have a stream later today, so that's not going to happen today. Next week, we will be back. I haven't figured out what the schedule is going to be. I usually do that on Sundays, and then I'll update the Twitch schedule for that. And I'll probably also post, I guess, a YouTube message because now that we're streaming on YouTube, we can do that. Usually it's sort of like these type apps in the morning, and then in the afternoon, the new project that I started working on is to learn genetic programming with Rust. So we're learning it sort of like in Python, which is what the tutorial that we're following is, and then putting that into Rust itself, sort of like to further solidify our learning, which is fun. So anyways, I hope that you all have a great rest of your Friday and have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.